It's the after talk.
After talk.
It is the after
What's
talk.
up? I'm meeting after Crossroads. What's up? After Crossroads.
It's the after talk, y'all.
It's the after talk. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, hello, and how are you doing? Welcome to Upward and Onward Presents our meeting at the Crossroads Music Series, After Talk. Now, the After Talk is where we actually get a chance to go back a little bit and focus in on some of the interviews that we had earlier in the year with some of the artists. So sit back, relax, snap on the seatbelt, do whatever you got to do, grab some popcorn because we're about to get nitty gritty and get a little bit around the edges of things, if you know what I mean. Jerica J'chenise is a singer, actress, model from the greater Chicagoland area. Jerica released her first project in 2015 and has since released two more under the artist name of Jay.shuh.neese. She most recently was seen in the national tour of the Broadway musical Waitress. Well, that was Jay.shuh.neese with Anything But Boring on WBM 107.5, way back music. Although right there, that was technically a new school joint, but you heard it here, folks. Anything but. Moving on to the story about this young lady from the greater Chicagoland area. Basically, she ain't from no Chi-Town. She from the decorated outskirts. No shade. She probably was living good out there in the outer city limits. But we shall see what she's been up to, what she's done, just basically how Jerica Exum is living, y'all. My drink of choice this week is Irk and Jerk, ENJXO, a hood classic, but a smoother level. Cheaper on the pandemic pockets, though. I mixed it with a little bit of apple juice. Please, no headache tomorrow. Please, please, please. Unfortunately, we will not see what Jerica's drinking, but I'm guessing a vodka.
On the rocks, would you like a twist? Olives, a Gibson, dirty dry, stirred chicken?
Sweet mix, tall glass of vodka, and something. Vacation beverage, you know what I'm saying? So let's check in with Miss Jerica J'chenise and see what the dealio is. When did your career start off?
I started being a performer professionally in 2012.
Okay.
Started doing theater and whatever gigs I could grab because I was like, I'm just trying to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2012 is when I started to make a living off
Make a living doing it, yeah. Now, did you start singing young as a kid?
Yeah, I grew up, the typical story, grew up in church, in a church choir. I kept doing choral stuff throughout school, which then led me into musical theater, which is like a whole nother, avenue.
It is.
I feel like that's one thing is I'm grateful for is I've been exposed to a lot of different avenues of performance and being a vocalist. So that versatility I'm thankful for because I started recording music when I was 18.
Okay.
I did gospel, I did choral, I did the musical theater. I've listened to all the rock. I've done gig bands.
Yeah. Now, are you normally in Chicago all the time, or are you were you in New York for a while, or what was the story?
I've been traveling since 2013.
Okay.
So I've been doing ships and then working abroad. So I've worked in Japan, I worked in Hong Kong.
Okay.
I've been over in the Mediterranean, been in the Caribbean. So I've been traveling. And then when I'm in the States, I bounce between Chicago and New York. Or if I have a contract somewhere random, then I'll be in whatever state.
Understood. Now, did you enjoy doing cruise ships?
I enjoyed our shows and I enjoyed being able to travel.
Wake up in a new place every day. Yeah.
Yeah, I love being able to just go. But I don't particularly like living on a ship.
I understand.
And it might have been my living situation because some people get officer cabins and living it up. And that was not how I was living. And so
Yeah.
I like to have a window when I sleep. I like to wake up to the sun.
I understand. It's unfortunate because the living situations, I started off being so spoiled where we actually had a guest cabin. Then my next contract, I had an officer cabin. Then I had an officer cabin again. Then I had a guest cabin. And that went back and forth for about 6 or 7 years. And then all of a sudden I joined what they call their Broadway series shows. And the cabins got smaller. And I was like, supposed to be a bigger contract, getting paid more, but now I got a smaller cabin. So I didn't understand that because I did Legally Blonde. And it was like a shoebox. It was, they call them Jack and Jill's, but I didn't share a bathroom. So I had a Jack without the Jill. So I had the same size room, but then that, that shorelet thing where you stand up and shower and you sit down and use the bathroom. Like, what is this? That will make or break a contract. That would also change your mind about how you perceive these type of contracts. Because I mean, cruise ships and that life is not for everybody. But like you say, I love the waking up in a new place every day, and traveling and just to go. And the schedule wasn't bad for the performing. I mean, for me, it was good.
I also did. I was like a show band vocalist in 2013. The workload between doing that and being in like the cast is night and day. I had one day off and I was singing 6 hours a day sets. And and they were like, they would do their like 30-minute show twice and then be at the club and like walk by me doing my set like, hey girl. And I was like,
like I'm still at work. It's almost like, I can't get sick. I don't have, theme parties, sail-aways, welcome aboards.
All of it.
Everything, all day, the decades.
So the inspiration behind the song Coffee is there was this guy that I was into and he was super big on coffee dates. Like was always like, let's go grab a cup of coffee. I'm gonna go meet this person for coffee. He was really big on coffee dates. So I don't know if he like posted a picture or something that had me in that mindset. So I heard the track. The first phrase that stuck was, come meet me for coffee. And then I was like, okay, how can I expand on this without making this about coffee beans, a cup, and like sitting on a chair? Like, where can you take this where coffee is still the center, but like it's not so literal? So it started off as a coffee date. And then it was like, when you meet couples for the first time, or like you're meeting like a friend, significant other, the first thing that people ask is like, how did you meet? How did you start dating? And they always have that like one story. So this song is the story of how this couple got together. It's like, oh, the coffee date sparked it. We hit it off and like, now we're together for life.
What is your favorite part of performing? Is it, I know you said you did some of the wedding band gigs, the top 40 bands, and you did the cruise ship. You say you've done musicals. What musicals have you done? Is that on your list of your favorites?
Yeah, musical theater is just so different because there's so many more elements to it. Yeah, it's special. And it's something that like didn't come natural to me. It's something I had to work for. So I think that's why I really like hold on to that, because it's like, no, I had to like put in work to like get into this. So like, I'm a really cherished it. But I'll go with this past year. I was on the Waitress tour before it shut it down. So I was doing that.
Love that show. I love it.
Nurse Norma.
Okay.
Being somebody's auntie.
The spicy attitude, being nosy.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love that show. Yeah.
Eating pie every night. I have not had pie since.
Warm apple pie. Yeah? Yeah.
I'm pied out.
It's a lot of pie.
Yeah.
Before I went to Waitress, I did Newsies at Paramount here in Chicago. And
nice. Love that show too.
Before that, I was in Godspell and Iverton in Connecticut.
None of these shows are alike. This is good. I love it. Wide range. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like to have fun. And then before that, I was playing Whitney Houston at Black Ensemble in Chicago.
Nice. I can totally see that.
Track 2 is called Just. With this song, I don't know how I got in the mindset. You would think that I was really like in love for the first 2 tracks of this. I think I had just finished watching or had recently watched About Last Night I think that had recently came on like a movie channel and I had watched it, and so I was in the mindset of like, when you are dating someone and y'all been together for a while, it's just like easy. It's like breathing, being with that person. So that was like the inspiration behind Just. So the first thing that came to me was love me like a Sunday afternoon. Cause you know, like when you're with your person and it's like the weekend for people that work like normal 9-to-5 jobs, when you get to like Sunday, it's like you don't want to do anything, you just like lay around all day or like with each other, you'll watch some TV, you'll do the things that you do. It's just like air. It's just like, oh, man, I love you.
I myself was not a natural musical theater person. I did go to a performing arts school, but musicals were not my thing. I loved acting and I loved singing. Mm-hmm. The two married together wasn't something that wasn't my favorite thing. To just break out into song was just weird to me through conversation. So I had to find that musical that I loved in order for it to be the acquired taste for me. To push forward and then appreciate other shows, because there were certain things about Broadway when I was coming up that I just felt was just so and I was like, yeah, I'm not in it. But now I can appreciate those Hello Dollies and stuff and watch the shows and really enjoy it. Whereas if you caught me in my teens, I was like, not interested. Don't want to see it.
Like this.
I don't like it at all. Nope, don't want to go. My mom actually, I remember going on a school trip to, I think it was England and Paris we went to, is the show choir. And my mom, I think there's a way that certain excursions or whatnot that you can pay for your child to attend, but she paid for me because she wanted me to have culture. She paid for me to go see a few musicals. It was Five Guys Named Mo. It was Miss Saigon and Starlight Express. None of my friends wanted to do that. You know, I wanted to be cool like them. I'm like, this is so lame, man. I don't want to be seeing this, you know. But I tell you, when I saw those shows, there was something that happened inside of me that I just felt great about. Now, I didn't really tell my friends about that because they would have lamed me out through the conversation, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think I developed my major love for it then. I wouldn't be caught dead anytime before that trying to see any of that stuff. So I definitely had to find those shows that I had friends in. That was another selling point for me. If I knew somebody that was in something, then that might be enjoyable for me at that point.
So the third track is called Free. Free is just that I got to free and I was like, I just want to have fun. Before I even knew what the track was gonna be, before I wrote a word, anything, I was like, free is, before I knew it was free, I was like, it's gonna be fun. I want to have fun. It's like a quarantine story of, for me personally, I mean, it's not a personal story. It didn't really happen.
You not only do performing as a singer, you've also been a model too, or are you still a model? I'm not sure.
Technically, yes. If an opportunity comes where it's like, oh, we're shooting for this or something, then I'll do it. But it's not something that I like actively pursue. It's kind of just like, oh, you tall, so I'm doing it.
How tall are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 5'11".
Okay, yeah, you're tall.
If I put a heel on.
Giants in the sky. No, I hear that. No, because I'm even 5'10". They definitely will not put us next to each other once you put those heels on. What has the pandemic brought to you? Like, what have you been doing since the pandemic? Were you one of those that lost a bunch of work, or have you been thriving through this process?
A little bit of both. The tour got postponed.
The Waitress tour, yeah.
Yeah, the dates that were on what we were contracted to do got canceled or postponed. So then that sent me home and I was like, all right. I was still auditioning, sending all my self-tapes and stuff. Had another show booked and that's been postponed as well. So I was like, all right, still being active and like looking for work and still auditioning, submitting. Ended up signing to a new agency. So then that worked in my favor.
Okay.
I'm trying to get into voiceover work now. So, and that's something that I've been wanting to like figure out for a while now. So now I have the opportunity to get into that. But it also gave me time to be creative that I didn't have because I've been literally bouncing show to show to show. So rehearsal to like a show run, and I've had no time to even think about what I want to do creatively for me. So give me time to like write and make my own music again because I love doing that. So yeah, it gave me like my creative energy back because I haven't done anything in like 2 years. So
well, that's good. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse.
Write It Down was the very last song that I actually recorded for the EP. How it came about was I was deciding between 2 tracks, and I did a poll on my social media of would people rather want to hear house or disco, and whichever way one was going to decide which track I was going to really develop. And house won, and so that was the vibe of Write It Down. I am not like a house person, but it had that vibe to me. When I heard it, I was like, okay, I needed it to be empowering, uplifting. I needed to be motivating. That's the vibe I was in. The first thing that came to mind was like, you like that? Then write it down, because it's in the Bible, it's in the Word. You know, you need to write things down.
What did you learn about yourself, or what have you learned about yourself during this pandemic, good or bad?
I feel like, I can't speak for everybody, but I do feel like a lot of people feel this way. I lean into like my work a lot, a lot. A lot of my identity is tied up in me working.
Yeah.
And so having this pause, and I do not stop working. Like I will literally close a show and fly to a rehearsal the next morning.
Like a workaholic, yeah.
Yeah. When it was like a pause, and it was like, okay, now what do I do with my time? Okay, what do I want to focus on? Because I don't have this to focus on. So I think the pandemic helped me identify like, okay, you need to step back some. When things do start, rolling, you need to have time for yourself outside of what you do for work. Because so much of me was focusing on that. Yeah, that's like the biggest thing that I've like learned.
So now you say you've leaned a little bit more on I guess the music side of things. What have you been recording something new as of late, or are you working on stuff that was a little bit older projects and you're finally getting done with them, or what's the story there?
Nope. I literally was just like, I'm depressed. I don't have nothing to do. And songwriting is like a form of like journaling for me. That's how I get things out, is I put it in song. Very honest with that. And so I was just like penned a song of like what I was feeling and just like posted it to like my social media just to like release it.
Yeah.
So did that. And then I just kept writing like a song a day, like song after song after song.
Okay.
I was like, as long as I don't have writer's block, as long as something keeps coming to me, I'm gonna just keep creating and just see where it goes.
Yeah, that's good, because so many people do get a writer's block. Yeah.
So I got to the song called Anything But Boring, which I released as a single. But once I got to that song, it was, we're putting out a project.
Okay.
Like nothing was planned. I was like, we're doing it. We're putting out a project. I wrote it and was like, yes, I'm feeling it. This is yes. And so I put it out. Like, it was just so fast. I put it out. I messaged like 50 people and was like, hey, gonna do a visual for this song that I literally just created. Do you want to do it? And then I was like, whoever sends it back. So a bunch of people sent me videos back. I made a visual for the song, I put out the single, and then like a month and a half later, put out the EP. I actually just released it last Sunday. And so, yeah, nothing was planned. It just kind of like was like, this is happening. This is where it's going. And
that's great. That's great. I'm wishing you the best with that. That's great. What would you consider the style of music that you're writing?
It's pop. It's like, yeah, I would say it's pop. I'm an R&B baby. Grew up that way, but like I've always listened to pop. I've never like not listened to pop.
Yeah.
Just a lot of genres in general. Yeah, it's pop. It's like maybe alternative R&B.
Okay.
Where it's like a little crossover-y. But I would qualify it as pop.
Yeah. If given the chance, if you were able to go back in time, what would you tell your younger self as a warning, or as a, lifting up the spirits of a young Jerica? What would you say?
Oh, I don't know. Start with what you have and then figure it out from there. But all the tools that you need, you already have. The resources will come.
Yeah.
So yeah, just anything that you want to do, just start towards it now. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Wake me
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jerica J'chenise Exum from Illinois by way of New York City, telling her story as only she can, talking about her journey, her road to and through this pandemic, and actually pulling an album out of all of this. Drinking coffee because she is anything but boring. And so if you have something to say to her, write it down or just know that she is free. Miss Jerica J'chenise. This is the After Talk, and we out.
I've got no choice. With the king I stay alive. Never had a choice. Been a wife twice before just to survive. I don't have a choice. If Henry says it's you, then it's you. No matter how I feel, it's what I have to do. But if somehow I had that choice, no holding back, I'd raise my voice.
Well, on behalf of Onward Productions, we'd like to thank you for hanging out for our meeting at the Crossroads, After Talk. Now, your attention and time is much appreciated, and we look forward to having you checking in for more later on. Remember, success is only an arm's length away. Stay safe, stay home if you can, and if not, keep practicing social distance with a healthy and cautious way of life. Upward and onward, folks.
After Talk. What's the haps? What's the scoop? What's going on? After Talk.
It's the After Talk.